Lakers Nation, what is going on, guys? So welcome back to the channel with a new video today this morning. Hope you guys had a great Friday day to start it off, especially with your loved ones, your friends, your family. But man, oh man, we have lots of news to cover and break down in just a second, so don't worry about it. We're going to be talking about Austin Reaves and breaking down his, contract situation, especially with the Los Angeles Lakers. But we did get an update, like I said. And before we get straight into the video, guys, I'd really appreciate if you guys could do me a big favor, at least to help your brother out. Trevor Fields, if you guys don't know who I am, that's my real name, and it is Mr. 81 once again. But make sure you guys like each of my videos, like do it. Like, I really appreciate you guys. I can't do without you guys' support, and also share with your loved ones, your friends, your family, all that great stuff. Just make sure you guys keep respectful in the comment section down below, and also smash the subscribe button as well. It's completely free. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're not gonna want to miss out. And stay tuned for more Lakers content. Stick around, don't skip this video, watch the entire video because I have lots to talk about and just think top of my head, my brain. So really don't have a script, but I just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions, and let me know what's your take on, Austin Reaves potentially, resigning with the Los Angeles Lakers, because he's going to be testing free agency in the following offseason. Not this offseason, right? It's almost over, but in 2026. But yeah, man, that's my intro. I know it's kind of long, but let's get back into today's video. I'm not going to waste too much time because I'm pretty sure you guys have stuff to do. And it is, early in the morning. It's almost 8 a.m., but I do start school around 9 a.m., so I have to keep it pretty short, sweet, and simple. But like I said, it is my second week, so that's why I haven't been consistent as I should. But let's get back into this, report. So we got some recent news. Pretty much, I want to say, a day ago, if not 2 days ago, and it's coming from NBA Central. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of them before. They're like legit. It is like a basketball, sports page. Sometimes the rumors are true, but sometimes they're just false, depending you do believe. But it says on the Twitter page that Jovan Bua, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of him. He's like a beat, Lakers reporter, so he does work closer with the organization. He does have like a YouTube channel, breaking down the news and the contracts and just players and all that great stuff. But pretty much the way this happened, he was on the Spectrum Sportsnet TV show with Chris McGee and also Allie Clifton, the lady. She also worked with, LeBron James, I'm pretty sure, back in Cleveland. So she does work on, the Spectrum TV, show and stuff like that. But he also says this about Austin Reaves. So he does believe that Austin Reaves will be worth between around $30 million, if not $35 million annually on his next contract. And I talked about this in my past videos. I do believe he's worth at least 25, not $30 million. But if I have to pay him over 30 million, 40, or at least $50 million because he can earn up to that, then I would just pass. Like, I just don't think he's worth it. I think he's a little bit overrated. Like, a lot of people hype him up to be like he's the next coming of Michael Jordan. Like, he's not untouchable. Like, I'm willing to trade him for the right piece. I'm not trading Austin Reaves for a bag of chips. But if you can get the right players that complement your stars, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, why not? But it has to be worth it, right? Like, if I had a crystal ball and guess who the Lakers traded for, Austin Reaves, then I wish I was able to, but I don't. I think they're not gonna do it unless it's for like a top tier, star. Like, they weren't even want to do it for a top tier center. Obviously, we did get DeAndre Ayton and stuff like that off the buyout from the Portland Trailblazers, but that's just my personal opinion. He even said this. He does consider Austin Reaves to be in the same class as players like Emmanuel Quigley. I mean, sure. How do you guys rank, Austin Reaves? Do you think he's better than Emmanuel Quigley? Personally, a little bit. Maybe Emmanuel Quigley does have the edge. He's more athletic. He's more shiftier. But he's currently playing for, the Toronto Raptors. He got Tyler Herro. I mean, you can make an argument that he's better than, Austin Reaves. Like, I'm not going to be biased as a Lakers fan, but I do give, Tyler Herro the edge. Like, they're both great in their own ways. Like, they have their pros. Like, they're both kind of similar, but Austin Reaves, he's never going to be the number one option. Maybe third option, fourth option at worst, or maybe at best. But there was nights where he looked like the second option, especially if like LeBron James took a night off or he didn't play, or when Anthony Davis was on the team, like he would just step up. But before the Luka Doncic trade, he was balling out. But it just seems like he was just more confident. He was a lot better after the Luka Doncic trade. But like there's concerns about the fit, playing together, and there still are because of the defense and the backcourt. But like, but would I rank Reaves and Tyler Hero? I'm just gonna leave it up to you guys in the comment section, right? But Tyler Hero's always gonna be the number one option. I mean, you can even argue he was like the second or third option behind Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, but know that Tyler Hero is the number one option since Jimmy Butler's been gone from the Miami Heat around the trade deadline, right? That's when the Golden State Warriors did trade for Jimmy Butler. But Tyler Hero, like, there are concerns about him, especially in the postseason. I'm pretty sure like his last game when he got swept against the Cleveland Cavaliers, like they smoked him. It was embarrassing. He only had like 4 points, which is a concern, but also his injuries, like he really hasn't had the greatest success in the postseason. But he says he's better than some earnings around $32 million per year. But also, emphasize that Reaves is highly valued by the Los Angeles Lakers, which I do agree. Like, they just don't want to trade him, and I don't think they're going to. Like, they just want to see a future, player with Luka Doncic, Reaves. So that's going to be their young core. But he also says that they don't want to trade him. He expects Reaves to decline his $14.9 million play option and just pretty much test free agency in the following offseason, 2026. But like, there's just a zero chance of him picking up because he's going to want more money. Ultimately, he'll sign on a multi-year deal. He also quoted this. He says he expects to be with the Los Angeles Lakers. He wants to be a Laker for life. Like, he's been saying this for a while. But also, Reaves reportedly wants a contract worth the same as Tyler Hero per Basketball Talk, even if he does plan to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers. And, Tyler Hero, like I said, he's a good comp in a lot of ways, but you kind of want to play, the waiting game. Like, you just want to keep it cool. I don't think the Lakers are going to just bench, Reaves. I prefer that. It's not about us Lakers fans, what we want. I know it's about what's best for the team, but, the Lakers front office, the coaching staff, the development, the shooting coach, whatever you want to call it, the trainers, the health department, whatever you want to call it, they're going to want Reaves to start. It doesn't matter what us Lakers fans think. And I know there are concerns about the defense. I should give credit to some degree because Reaves wasn't like terrible defensively in that, Minnesota series in the first round. He wasn't great. I mean, he was a lot better than Reaves. I mean, there was times he'll just get steals and you switch on to, Rudy Gobert and just, steal the ball. But at least he does give effort. I mean, there's times where he does get cooked. But you're talking about a guy who was undrafted, who could have gone drafted, but he decided, the route to go undrafted. I'm pretty sure he was in LeBron James' camp, so they saw something in him. But he's a very special player. Like, I don't think he's a superstar. Maybe he does get the chance and opportunity to make an all-star appearance, but I don't think he's your best player on a championship team. Like, name one team where he's going to start. Not even OKC, not even, Boston. Maybe now, but back then, probably not. The Minnesota Timberwolves, like, not even Denver. So name a few teams where he would start on a championship level team. Not even the Cleveland Cavaliers, but that's just my personal opinion. Like, Reaves is a very good player. Like, he's a high rotational player, very good blue chip player that you want in a, playoff, team. But he can create, contact, draw fouls, get to the line, get to the rim, operate in the mid-range, shoot over the top, shoot three. So he is a three-level scorer. Tyler Hero isn't just, great defensively. I would say he's a better, pure shooter and bucket getter than, Reaves. But like I said, I'm just going to leave it up to you guys in the comment section. But where would you guys rank Reaves? Like, what tier? But I will say I was pretty, critical of Reaves the past, couple of seasons, giving him the benefit of the doubt, especially his first go-round in the postseason. I believe it was, like, back in 2022-23 season, I want to say. I know that Memphis series, he was like, I'm him. He was very good in that. And then Golden State, he had, like, a buzzer beater half court shot going to halftime. So he had that masterclass game. But the Denver series, I wouldn't say he's like great. He wasn't terrible, but he had his inconsistencies, his up and downs. I would say this, guys. He's had just as bad as good games, just as bad games as good games, especially in the postseason, and then his second year in the postseason after getting gentlemen swept against the same Denver Nuggets team. I mean, he was a lot better, but still, like there were just question marks, like there was concerns, and the best player was guarding Reaves. Like they always put the best defender on him, even when they had D'Angelo Russell on this team at this time. But also his third go around this past season 2024-25 year, right, against the Minnesota Timberwolves, that was like his worst performance ever. Like wasn't even close. He was just struggling. Like I don't care what he does in the regular season. He could look like prime Michael Jordan for all I care. But if he doesn't show up in the postseason, that's going to be a problem. Like, we're all about winning championships. If it means trading Austin Reaves or him sacrificing for the team to win to come off the bench, like, why would you not do that? Don't we care about, championships, not, selling jerseys or, the name of the back of jerseys or front of the jerseys, whatever you want to call it? Like, if you can get a better prototypical 3-and-D wing, then a player like Austin Reaves who can play the guard position. He is listed as a small forward. He's like 6'5". He could play, shooting guard. I actually want him to be playing as the second, ball handler. Like I really don't want him being the primary ball handler on this team. Now that you got Luka Doncic, like he could come off the bench and replace Luka Doncic, especially when we need more scoring, or even have Rui Hachimura off the bench or replace LeBron James instead of having those two players, starting alongside Luka and LeBron James. Because what this Lakers team really needs is just better balance and just fit. We need defense, shooting, athleticism. We need hyper athletes, like athleticism. Like I would even mind Jerry Vanderbilt, but teams sag off him. Like I am concerned about the shooting the 3-point shot. I mean, he's worked on the corner shot, but we're always talking about this every single off season. Like he dealt with like a foot injury, his heel, he got surgery and stuff like that. He did draft Adil Thero from Arkansas Razorbacks. He also played for Kentucky, but I was looking forward to see him play in the summer league. So can you imagine the lobs he's gonna get? And looks from Luka Doncic. I don't think he's gonna get a lot of minutes just because he's a rookie and the Lakers are a win now situation. But I think if the playoffs were today, I'm just using this for example. I think he'll play Adil Thero over a player like Dalton Connect, because Dalton Connect, like if you look at the statistics, like the stats and the metrics, he was basically considered the worst defender, if not one of the worst. Like he wasn't gonna make a difference, so that's why J.D. Redick just didn't play him. Like he wasn't in the rotation the postseason. But if you have Adil Thero, I think you'd actually play him because he does play both sides. Defense, has a little mid range, can shoot three a little bit, but not very efficient. But you guys let me know in the comment section, especially down below, Lakers fans and big fans in general. But if Osprey's command at least $30 million, then sure, why not? Then pay him. But if you have to pay him at least over that 40, if not $50 million, then I would pass, because it doesn't really make too much sense to sign Austin Reaves for that much money, especially if you have to pay him at least $120 million over the next 3 or 4 seasons. Because aren't the Lakers trying to preserve cap space for 2026, if not 27 season? Like Luka Doncic already said he wants to win now. Like Rob Pelinka said he's not done making moves. Like the Lakers, they're not satisfied with this roster. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this is the current roster that we're going with as constructed, and this is what we're rolling with going to training camp the beginning of next month, maybe early month or late of September. But you also got preseason, and guys are going to be invited to training camp deals just to add a body. Maybe they do make an actual roster. You got 2-way contracts, but you got Exhibit 10 deals, but they have to work to get converted to 2-way contracts, right? And you also got the start of the 2025-26 regular season. So anything can change. You got Gabe Vincent, maybe do a consolidation trade. He has 1 more year left on his deal until 26, making around 11. You got Maxwell Kleber, he's making around $11 million. He's 33 years of age, so It is expiring. You got Rui Hachimura. He's going to be a free agent in 2026. He's making around like what, roughly $18.6 million. So I think he's one of our best assets on this team, other than Austin Reaves. I know Doncic and X trade value did tank because teams no longer view him as a first round pick like they did before, but you got the Andrew Wiggins trade, like the rumors and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But based off that summer league performance, he did, struggle. Maybe he's just not motivated and he's trying to tank his, value. But he did play himself off, the court. And maybe the Lakers do look to trade him to a consolidation trade, maybe involving Thought to Connect, because at some point you're going to have to do a salary dump trade or rather like a salary filler. Maybe you do find a team that wants, Thought to Connect, maybe Maxwell Keeper, because they're expiring. I know Thought to Connect has 4 years on his deal, and he's still on his rookie contract. He's making around $4 million, but that's pretty much all I got for today's video. Those are just my, recent thoughts. I know this video is longer than I expected, but it's currently 8:05 as I'm recording the video. Do you guys like my take? Do you guys disagree with me? Do you guys think, the Lakers should, keep Reaves, or do you think they should trade him and flip him for a better rotation piece, a prototypical 3-and-D wing, a 3-and-D guard, or a 3-and-D forward, power forward? But we already got our center position locked up. You got Jackson Hayes. He's on a no trade clause. He's signed for, 1-year deal, vet minimum $3 million. So pretty much this is gonna be his, third season with the Los Angeles Lakers. I do prefer him as a, third center. I don't want him being our primary backup, but most likely he's probably going to, especially if the Lakers don't pull off a trade or get, for example, Rob Williams, or if he doesn't get bought out, or if they don't get any other, good backup center. Because let's just be honest, Jackson is just not a good backup center, even though Luka Doncic just made him look good. But that just goes to show how good Luka Doncic is. He made Daniel Gafford look very good, and Jake Lively, the second or third, but he's better than Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is just not a very good basketball player. It's not even opinion, it's a fact. Maxwell Keeper, I mean, you could see the clips, he's working. What basically happened, he threw the ball off, the floor of the basketball hardwood court and just threw a windmill. You guys can check it out, see it in social media. You could see he's putting the work. You could see him, working out, his muscles. He's stronger. After the Lakers basically got eliminated, what was it, 5 games in the first round against Minnesota, guess what happened? JJ Redick pretty much said, in his exit interviews, that he wants, guys to come back in championship shape. So you can see with Maxwell Kleber, I mean, Luka Doncic, he's motivated, especially after, Nico Harrison, the front office, their GM, threw Luka Doncic over the bus. I'm hearing, according to different sources, reports, he lost 31 something pounds. He has a 42-inch vert. You also got to see LeBron James, he's back in the lab. He's putting in the work for year 23. He's about to be, 41 in December. So that's actually kind of crazy. But if you got guys Gabe Vincent, who is it? LeBron James or Rui Hachimura that fall off the books, maybe the Lakers can get that, big name, especially, LeBron James, because he's probably going to play if not 1-2 years in his, career, or when he does retire. But I think he's going to retire with the Los Angeles Lakers, no matter what the noise is and just rumors and potentially getting bought out. I just don't see it happening. Just doesn't make too much sense when the Lakers, paid him and he did, opt in and stuff like that. But he already took a pay cut last year, but we'll see what happens. But I know LeBron James, that, $52.2 million, money that he's making, he's just going to come off. So maybe the Lakers can just get off him and get a player like Giannis or maybe Jokic. But most of those type of players, those superstars, they usually want to get traded. They want to do right by their organization, their franchise. So it's very hard to see those free agents just walk and go to teams unless your name is LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard, what I'm trying to say, or Paul George, who just walked this past season, to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. But I do, digress. But yeah, man, let me know in the comment section if there's any other topics or, videos you guys want to, see me talk about. But this season's going to be must see TV. Like, I'm super excited, especially you got a full training camp for Luka Doncic. Like, you're going to see the duo of him, LeBron James. Like, this is LeBron James' best shot of winning a championship. Obviously, the West got better. Denver, OKC, they still have the same team, so they didn't really make any, moves. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing another team, but, the West is just tough, right? The East is just a lot weaker. Dame Lillard's not in the East no more. He tore his Achilles, so he's back in the West. But Portland, he's not going to play this season. Maybe Jason Tatum does come back, but most likely he's not going to come back. Tyrese Halliburton's out for the whole season. The Indiana Pacers low bad, Miles Turner, so he's on the Milwaukee Bucks. So the East has gotten worse. I would say Atlanta Hawks got better, adding additions of Nickeil Alexander-Walker for the Minnesota Timberwolves and trading for Kristaps Porzingis. I do have, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Knicks, or the Atlanta Hawks. Those are like the sleepers, but I do have them coming out the East. But like I said, the East is just a lot, weaker. But if the Lakers were to get through the West and they go to the NBA Finals and face one of these Eastern Conference teams, then I do believe in them. Like, I'm not even trying to be biased. I do believe that they have a chance and opportunity to win an NBA championship. But these guys, like, you got to see it work, especially, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Like, this is probably the best chance LeBron James could win number 5. Like, where is he going to go? Is it going to be Golden State? Like, they're not a contender, but could potentially be the best duo in NBA. Especially, I don't care how LeBron James, he could be 50, 60. He's still playing like a top 5, top 10 player. Like, can they offset? Like, can they coexist? Sure. And neutralize, on this team. But also, you need wing defenders around Luka Doncic, especially because of his, defense and the lack of, defense. But he's been working on being explosive, getting to his spots, step back, shooting over the top, like creating dribble drive penetration and just, getting to the rim. But he's still a guy who can just drop, 29, if not 30, 31 points per game. I mean, he had like a career high against the Milwaukee Bucks where he dropped like, 45 points in that game on the road, especially when pretty much everybody was in the rotation, like they weren't even playing and guys went missing. But yeah, man, make sure you guys follow my socials. The links will be down in the description. And I'm out of here. Peace. Cheers.